Facebook now.
I did get an internet presence. So. Stan, I watched the Carlisle City Council meeting. It was on. I guess I saw it yesterday.
I appreciate that the last two times our packets have not been over 100 some odd pages. I'm going, okay, all right. Last two times, keep going.
Right.
Yeah, he's got, yeah, oh yeah, that was, I need to tell you that story.
I could, it just kind of, and the mayor just kind of says, yeah, so this, yeah, the building's closed. Now I know those people.
They had I'm like, morning. I'll make sure they can work it out right. But yeah, I need to tell you, I'll tell you a story about back then.
It's one of those things I start watching. I couldn't come down.
He's got a grip on it.
Yes, the state came through and moved the center line.
They did. Yeah. He was good that day.
Yeah, always needed.
Everybody was parking up on the sidewalk and on the street.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome everybody today. We need to call the meeting to order. Everyone please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Ms. Sutherland, have roll call.
Mayor Plummer,
Here.
Commissioner Brooks.
Here.
Commissioner Fields,
Here,
Commissioner Gray will be absent today. Commissioner Galbraith.
Here.
We have a quorum and ready for the transaction of business.
Mr. Belcher, are you ready to go?
Yes, sir, Mayor.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. Item number 4 on your agenda is to approve the minutes of the regular meeting dated October the 28th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A motion by Commissioner Brooks for a second.
You got it. Mayor's got it.
Second by the mayor.
Yeah, just free.
Second by the mayor. All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item number 5 on your agenda, we have second reading. A second reading ordinance 2025-29, first quarter fiscal year budget amendment. Brad, do we want to discuss anything further on that?
No, we haven't made any changes since the first reading on this, so if you want me to, I'll go ahead and do that.
Sure.
All right. So we have City of Paris Ordinance 2025-29, an ordinance of the City of Paris, Kentucky, amending the annual budget for the fiscal year July 1st, 2025 through June 30, 2026, estimating revenues and resources and appropriating funds for the appropriation of the City of Paris. Whereas the Board of Commissioners have reviewed the budgetary revenues and expenses for the City of Paris for the 2026 fiscal year. Now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Paris, Kentucky, that the annual budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026 be amended as follows. On the governmental funds, beginning fund balance July 1st, 2025 will be amended to $11,310,561. Total revenues will be amended to $14,100,714, giving total funds available of $25,411,275. Total expenditures will be amended to $14,100,714, leaving an estimated fund balance at June 30th, 2026 of $11,310,561. For proprietary funds, beginning fund balance at July 1st, 2025 will be amended to $5,190,601. Total revenues will be amended to $25,496,048, giving a total funds available of $30,686,649, Total expenditures will be amended to $25,496,048, leaving an estimated fund balance at June 30, 2026 of $5,190,601.
Brad, any questions? Would entertain a motion to, this is second reading,
So
correct?
moved.
Motion by Commissioner Fields, second.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Galbraith. All those in favor?
Roll call.
Sorry, roll call.
Mayor Plummer,
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Fields,
Yes.
Commissioner Galbraith.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion carries.
Item B, 5B on your agenda, this will be a first reading, 2025 ordinance 25-28, ordinance enacting, adopting supplemental code of ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Belcher. We had this as a first reading last time, but I made a change to it, so we'll have a new first reading. This is the normal ordinance you all do every year when the ordinances are published within the code book and put online. We caught that 2 or 3 years ago, there was an ordinance that you all passed on a personnel position. It shouldn't have gone in the code, things like that, like zoning maps don't go in the code. So this also will take that out of the code provision. It doesn't change the ordinance, it doesn't repeal the ordinance, it just means it doesn't go in the book. So that's that explanation. That's what section 2 is in this new ordinance. Any questions about that? We take the next one too?
Yeah, go ahead, item C. Yeah, Sparky's not here. Yeah, first reading, ordinance 2025-31, net metering.
So this is the solar net metering ordinance that we've been in discussions about for several months. Not quite ready for you all to consider this as the official first reading because I'm a little uncertain about what the actual dollar figure or cents figure needs to be for the billing credit. And then the process on how that goes. But in essence, the way that this ordinance is set up, as many electric utilities are doing, people may look at solar panels. There's a whole different issue about solar panels being compliant with our zoning ordinance. That's not what this touches. That's already addressed by existing zoning, particularly in residential zones. But if someone wants to put solar panels on, and you know, there's a few homes in town that do, with our electric department, we need to make sure it's going to be compatible with our system and it's going to be safe so that it's going to be uploading energy in an appropriate manner. There's a special type of meter you have to get so that it literally allows the net metering because the electricity is flowing back and forth through that. So it allows an inspection period by our electrical department to make sure it's all compatible, and then a way to track as they have sunshiny days on their roofs and the energy is going into the system versus it's night or it's winter or it's cloudy or whatever it may be. And they're drawing from the city. So there's a way that is net calculated out. To a degree, it's tied to our wholesale rate that we're purchasing from KOMEA, and then that can be adjusted and recalculated annually. One other thing that's sort of related to this that might come in the future, we just want to give it a little more thought. With any of our utilities, if someone inappropriately attaches to the utilities without it being properly inspected or permitted or metered, the city has the ability, obviously, to go in there as a remedial measure and shut off all utility services. So we want to make sure that this is going to be compatible with that. The bigger issue here would be someone connecting some type of system to our system, which is not compatible, which could pose a very serious safety risk to them and our system. So I think our existing ordinance sections, Mike, you've looked at this too, I think are adequate, but this is a whole brand new thing that was never contemplated when that was passed 30 years ago.
Right.
So we might want to tweak that a little bit, but we'll go ahead and get this passed. We've been talking about it for quite a bit, and so I'll get with Aaron and that. Mike, and we'll get it going.
Have we had much interest in people wanting solar panels?
So I think what Sparky would tell you is some people call,
Okay.
but there may be only 2 or 3 in town that are taking this approach.
There's some ruthless vendors out there that are signing people up and just telling them you're gonna save all this money. And until we got our policy worked out on how much we're paying people, because the energy goes back into the system.
Okay.
And you gotta calculate what that rate is and going back, but they have taken advantage, these vendors have, of some citizens.
I think what's easy for us to think is, if I put solar panels on, somehow I'm gonna store the energy created by the sunlight and then use it around. That's not how it works. It's not how it works anywhere. And I think that's just I would think that too. So I think when people learn that and they see how it works, it's a way to save some dollars, but.
And Kentucky Utilities has allowed it for some time now, and that worked out, but
Yeah.
as some people don't realize, our rate is different and cheaper than Kentucky Utilities, and they bill a different way.
And they just within the month kind of redid their tariff as well with the PSC.
You know, here, sorry.
I was just shocked. I'm sorry that we have not had this question come up in Paris. I mean, we've had solar panels and saved a bunch of money on our roof. We've had that for years. But we have Bluegrass Energy. But people in Paris, nobody's put solar on their roofs. We haven't had to address it. I'm just shocked
Yeah, I think-
that we're so behind.
There's at least two that have.
There are customers in Paris, and I think that's the point's well taken. That I think customers, as more customers.
And keep in mind, when I say
explore this.
Aaron's dealt with too, that's city electric customers. That's not homes in the city.
Okay.
Because as you know, a good chunk's with Cave.
Did I understand you to say the .0 or the .075? Yeah, that's not
Way
the
too high.
credit. It's not the credit.
Ours is gonna be somewhere around .05.
Okay.
And we will see.
Well, I'm wondering where the number just
That's
came
Cave.
from. KU.
That's Cave.
OKU.
So there's additional, we will see this again on first reading, correct, Brian? I think there was some additional work and then.
Yeah,
we'll see
under
this
that
again.
first paragraph under B, we need some additional language about how we're gonna annually calculate this.
One more thing. The 1% of the city's annual peak load, is that kind of a standard, or do we?
It changes, KYMEA tracks it,
Oh,
and then it'll tell us what our peak is
Okay.
after a year.
And, I would say this too, we want to make sure everything is safe and it's protecting them, their neighbors, and our system. So this is gonna have minimum liability coverage in here. And it may be more than most people have on their home. It's gonna require $1 million. So a lot of people carry 300.
Any other questions? Like I said, we will see this again and we'll have first reading and then go from there. All right, item number 6 on your agenda is consent agenda. We do have at least one item we want to pull for further discussion and copy that I placed on your table. Does anyone else have any items that they would like to pull up for discussion? I would mention before we discuss the change order, item E. Item A is an administrative matter. We had the order that we had attached the last meeting. This is a cleanup for the GIS appointment. So the correct order is attached this time. And we want to make sure that that was approved. And then item D, or C rather, we had several candidates apply for the utility billing supervisor position. The internal candidate emerged as the top candidate there, asking for approval for that. And then we had an internal candidate for the GIS coordinator, Mike Manier, to apply for the position vacated last month by Charlie, and the creation of their GIS coordinator and boosting of that position. So we would ask that be approved for the internal transfer. The other item, as I mentioned, laid copies of on your table, and Mr. Corbin, he came in. We currently have the engine Number 7, the repair, which has been on previous agendas for discussion and approval to repair. Went through a bidding process, and that was approved. In the process of tearing down the engine, they discovered that, there was issues on the front of the drive engine, the gear. And this change order would address the ongoing repair as well as the additional repairs that they found once they got into the engine to do the additional repair. So we would ask for consideration of that, but in the meantime, and Corbin, if you want to maybe chime in, we have, again, further inspection of the engine. They determined the actual cause of the leak and where it could be fixed. And that involves a much more extensive discussion and more extensive repair if we want to move forward. So again, a lot of this was found once they initially got into the engine. Both this repair that they're in process of, I had sent an email out on, and now this, which again, may or may not.
For the minutes, since we're moving this to regular instead of consent, you want to vote on consent?
Do consent first and then do this.
And I had one of those changes I wanted to make to
Okay.
the Dynamic Air Solutions contract. A couple things they sent, like insurance and a deadline, I'm gonna add to that.
Okay.
So with the caveat, I'm gonna have some additions, and I think Mike's sort of talked to me about that already. Might want
So we want to go ahead and vote on the consent agenda with the caveat that we're going to discuss item E. We got a motion by Commissioner Brooks. We have a second. Second by the mayor. All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Okay. Now we're discuss the,
Yeah, let me just start again. So we lost water pressure on engine number 7. Had a major water leak. So got quotes for that. That all got approved. They come in to fix that issue. We can't find the water leak. So we start backtracking to find the cause of the water leak, why it started leaking to begin with. Figured out that we lost a water pump. The shaft was broke. That's not a huge issue. Ordered a new one. It was ready to put in. The gear that drives that water pump and the oil pump was totally chewed up. So that included disassembly of the lower front half of the engine to remove that gear, which added quite a bit more cost to the initial quote. That was all approved. And now that that's done, we have found that the cylinders are where they overheated when the water pump quit, that they are leaking, and we figured that part out. That is another major expense to replace all 12 new liners, about 140 something thousand.
Now, this is all on number 7?
This is all on number 7.
same engine. So this is on page 3 of the quote that I handed out. So go ahead, Corbin, sorry.
So that is if we replace them all. They can be refurbished, but there's no warranty on them if they refurbish them. They can refurbish them, put them back in, and if they end up cracking because they were stressed, then we're still out the cost to have them replaced. I feel like we can not do the repair, the refurbish right at this moment. We can maybe push this out a little while because it will still run without that done. Just, I wouldn't push it overly hard until maybe next budget year when we can try to actually plan a little bit better for this.
I think to be fair, more bad news, I think you'd have to bid this anyway. Not that it couldn't still be done quick, but if you're already thinking it's not something that has to be done, then you probably have to be bid anyway. An expense.
Okay, don't we lose credits in 29?
We did.
Don't we?
As far as for a generation camera.
Yes, for generation, so what I'm thinking about is, let's say $200,000. It'll be more than that when they get here, just like we had, what was it, 54, and then we did a 12.
It was an
We had to
additional
do another
12 for
or
the
something.
current, yeah, for the current.
Right. Right.
That's to get us back up and running to capability,
Yes, yes.
but with the understanding, the caveat that it's gonna be leaking, or presumably it
Yeah,
will leak
it'll still leak.
unless we do these other more extensive repairs.
Yeah,
So I just
hopefully it'll
want,
just leak through the exhaust and it'll be hot enough that it'll just kind of vaporize it anyways, but.
It's, it's not like we're generating 24/7.
Right.
We, per contract, we come on, you know, when it's really hot, really cold, to prove that we can generate, and then on demand, if there's an issue, they could call us to come up and per contract, I think it's 11 megawatts, you know, that we say we can generate and come on. Without 7, what are we down to, maybe 5?
2.4 if you don't run the whole plant.
But I think we've shown our due diligence that we've gone this far with it, and we'll be able to come online
And generate something.
Yes.
Generate something, not 11.
It won't be 11 now.
Yeah, it won't be 11.
so the vendor does discuss that we could continue to help what Corbin had suggested and, you know, measure tolerances and.
Well, they don't measure top, that's another,
That's
a complete different part that I'm not even really concerned about at this point.
something they looked at while they were doing the other stuff and said, oh, by the way,
Yeah.
your blower might need some
The
attention.
blower on 5 is meant to be redone like 10 years ago, it's still holding.
So on page 3, these are all 3 separate things that need to be done. Is that correct?
Well, no, those are different routes to go, except for the blower. But there's the,
It's completely different. Yeah,
no, that wasn't even the original.
That wasn't the original.
No.
it's something they found while they were.
This is in addition to current.
Yeah. Yeah, the 3 options, one is to complete new liners, the second option is to rebuild the liners, and then that third price is for if they were to redo the blower, which that third option of redoing the blower, I wouldn't even worry about.
Yeah, again, with the exception of the current change order, that's before you, the additional 12,000. Recommendation would be to hold for now. Discussing before with the vendor is to hold for now. Get the engine back up and running and, you know, see where we are at that point. But the change order before you, that would need to be approved. The additional 12,000, which is
$47.10.
12 what?
$12,847.10.
Yeah.
Again, this is connected to the original bid that we did last month.
I'll make the recommendation. Someone make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Brooks, have a second.
I'll say.
Second by Commissioner Galbraith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Cole. Appreciate the additional explanation.
So before we go on, Mr. Spartan's here, I was just, y'all saw me just catching up with him on the net metering ordinance. So I don't know if there's anything more from his much better expertise about this issue than I have. In other words, all the hard questions we're gonna have.
Any other questions on that? Like I say, we will see this again, probably next meeting. Okay, we're good. All right, so we've moved that one down. Madam Clerk, we also have municipal order. It's on regular agenda, item number 7, municipal order 2025-82. Lease renewal, Commonwealth of Kentucky. So as you all know, the Commonwealth leases the second floor in this building, and we are asking for continuation of that lease. It was 2 years, is that what we checked off and recommended? That's what was approved last time, so recommending that we continue that lease agreement for an additional 2 years. Any questions on that? Seeing none, I would ask for a motion to approve.
I'll move.
Motion by the mayor, with second. Second by Commissioner Fields. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right. Item number 8 on the agenda, reports from outside item A, report from outside agencies. We have Mike from DAV here. Michelle, do you have anything, Michelle? Do you have a report?
Morning. Is it cold back in that corner?
So for the month of October, our office issued 26 building permits, 9 of which were within the city limits. There were 30 electrical permits issued, 10 of which were within the city limits. We did 1 address request, that was in the county. We didn't do any street cut permits. We did do 1 stream construction, which would be a floodplain permit, that was within the city limits. We did 60 building inspections, and 43 of those were within the city limits. As for planning and zoning, we had a total of 12 applications come through our office for that. We had 2 ag land divisions, 4 consolidations, 1 minor subdivision, 1 administrative appeal, 1 variance, and 3 conditional uses. So it was a very busy month for us.
Michelle, when you say minor subdivision, what does that mean?
Just dividing a lot,
Okay,
not a big subdivision.
Okay.
As for code enforcement, we did 47, 42 of those were in the city limits. We did 9 water taps and 9 sewer taps. And the good news is Bobby was fully released from his medical, so he is gonna be back on the roads again. We were complaint-based there for a while he was on his medical leave, so, but he is back now, 100% released. So those code enforcement numbers, I'm sure will raise back up at this point. Our next Board of Adjustments meeting is next Tuesday, the 18th at 5:30. We have four items on the agenda, one of which is another administrative appeal. P&Z meeting is 11:20 at 6:30. We only have financials on that agenda. And then our next TRC meeting will be 11:24 at 1:30 here in this office. Any questions?
Thank you, Michelle.
Thanks, Michelle.
Anyone else? Again, I mentioned Mike with DAV is here. I think they have some events tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah.
That's coming up. Mike, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I just wanted to give everyone a short update. Tomorrow, we're going to have I'll call it a rather short and intimate event out at Legion Park to celebrate our veterans. You may have seen in the newspaper last week that we canceled the parade and that I had canceled the skydivers because we had coordinated with the team out of Ohio to fly the flags in. Thursday afternoon, as soon as I got my paper, within 3 hours, I get a call from Ohio that said, "Oh, we missed your notice on this. We finally saw it. We can possibly make the jump happen." I've been in coordination with Ms. Hudson at the park and with Judge Williams to try to get all of the clearances for them to jump and land at Legion. I just got a call from Ms. Hudson, so something's happening. I have not heard back from either office, either in Ohio or from the judge, whether they were able to connect to get the letters that had to be done back and forth. That being said, if they don't jump, we will still have a handful of speakers there that will talk to various veteran issues. We would like to invite out. We've put a request out to the mayor and the city manager to come and make welcoming notes. Representative Koch will come and speak to some veteran legislation issues. We will talk to veteran suicide. We have a speaker from the women's perspective of what it is to be a woman vet. And then I will speak a little bit to the veteran community about Project 250, because we intend to do a lot of events last year that are veteran themed around America's 250th anniversary. So that is sort of a quick brush on where we are going. There is one additional thing that we have been working on. You may all be aware that we do have a Vietnam memorial. I was approached by an individual a few months ago that there is a local gentleman who is not on that memorial. I have acquired the appropriate identification to prove that he was in Vietnam. During the Pumpkin Festival, DAV made a special collection to try to help defray the cost to get that engraving done. I'm not sure if it's too cold to get that done now, but we're planning in the future to have that engraved and have a ceremony for Mr. Purvis to get him onto the memorial. And so I'll need some coordination within the city for that at a future point in time. But that is my report to the commission.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right. See Allison or Betty, I think they had,
Oh, I'm sorry, 10 a.m. All right, thank you.
10 a.m. tomorrow. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Hope you all had seen Allison and Betty Ann's report. Email that they had a conflict today, but due to the rescheduling. But if you don't have any questions about that, I can send that back out to you from Allison and Betty Ann. Any reports from city staff? A lot of things going on. Anyone? Scott, Chief, anything? All right. I would like to report, just briefly, we had Commissioner Fields and Galbraith, as well as Marissa and myself met with the judge and Dana regarding the scoring and the on the RFP for the EPA Brownfield grant last week. And I did see that the fiscal court had approved the employing of Tetra Tech, the respondent on that. So that project is moving forward. I also had a report from KYTC that on the walking bridge, that they will hopefully, if everything works out, to start on November 15th. So start work on that. I know there was been delayed a long time, so hopefully that project's moving forward. That's all I had. Mayor, did you have anything about the report?
Shop the Hero Sunday at 2:30. Those funds over to
When is it?
2:30 Sunday
Okay.
at 7th Street Christian Church.
Police and
This Sunday.
Police and fire, I think.
Police and
we're gonna have
fire, yeah.
someone there. I think I sent that out, so hopefully someone there. Anything else?
That's all.
Mr. Fields?
Just want to say that a copy of our report envisioning 2040, we'll have a copy at the library in case any of our citizens want to take a look at it. It will be there on file. They can
It's the
Look at it.
comprehensive plan, yeah, it's very
Comprehensive
important.
plan.
and
They can
document.
check it out or just look at it there if they want to.
Don't say that's gonna.
Can we clarify that that shop at the cop is, they're not giving out gifts then, this is. to-
No, this is
To
the
raise
program.
money for the program.
Yeah, this is raising money for the program.
Okay. What is that? There's a concert, what is
She's asking to clarify, there's a concert at 7th Street Christian Church that raises money for Shop with a Hero.
Yeah.
And it's in memorial of Wallace's mother. That they do it every year.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry about that. Commissioner
That's my
Fields?
fault.
No, it's no problem. Commissioner Fields, you have anything else?
No, that's all.
There, you had handed out the Christian Care
Oh,
Communities.
yes, yes.
Flyer. I know we were working on.
Yes,
trying to get
this
proposals.
company, Christian Care Communities, is interested in maybe continuing conversations about the possibility of them coming and establishing a senior care,
Senior living.
senior living, and maybe even, connect some way with Bourbon Heights, if possible. We are about the only county in central Kentucky that does not have an assisted living facility besides Nicholas County. Others have maybe 2 or 3, and we don't have any, so that's, and we have gotten information from other companies as well. But this one, we had been in conversation with, so.
Be glad, I'll follow up and
Okay.
we can continue that discussion.
Okay.
Commissioner Galbraith, do you have anything?
No, I talked to Mike Smith about a couple of things this morning. He's gonna follow up on that, so good on that.
Mike? Clerk? Anything? Brian, anything else? I did have one other thing. I think the fiscal court had mentioned, the consensus was to have the joint city-county workshop to discuss the joint ordinance on the parks, the 17th at 4, so that's next Monday. We have that one additional thing, so. If there's nothing further, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by
Second.
Commissioner Brooks, second by Commissioner Galbraith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Ross.